All right, Tammy, thank you so much for allowing me to record this portion of the interview. I understand you worked with Spectrum for quite some time. So how long were you with Spectrum?
I was with them almost 34 years.
Okay, that is a long time. So what happened? Why did you leave?
It wasn't on my own choosing. The company decided to do a restructure that actually blindsided all of us. They took all of our non-sales jobs, so that did the administration, marketing, anything that wasn't a sales on the feet type position. We were told those positions were being moved out of state, and we had the option to relocate, and relocation just wasn't an option for myself or my family.
Yeah.
So I am going into new waters, looking for a job after all of these years. And that's kind of where I led to be where I am today.
Okay. And so when you started, why don't we talk a little bit about your career? So kind of like where, I mean, we don't have to go back 34 years, but, you know, relevant, maybe the last 10 years or so. Tell me a little bit about the work that you've done with them.
So basically, I'd say the last 25 years, I gained experience working across different markets with field marketing, operations, working with contracts, and people development. And with that, I managed and reconciled contracts $1 million plus. I helped support multi-million-dollar budgets, and I partnered closely with the account executives in our finance department. With that, it helped to balance our budgets. We resolved any type of discrepancies that we may have had at that time. And we also worked with our audit-ready documentations. Alongside of that work, I also led and designed multi-state onboarding programs where I trained and mentored employees. I also was, the last year I stepped up and I became a backup sales operational manager, which was across 2 states. So I worked with the state of Florida and with Alabama. So that covered 4 offices among those states, up to 10 account executives, and we had a team of 16 that I worked with. So basically, everything in a nutshell. I feel like I helped reduce risk, I saved time and money, and I also made our complex operations run a little bit more smoothly by building strong teams that were capable, that our teams, the sales teams, were able to trust. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay. And when you were there, did they work with proprietary software?
We did. It was Charter who I worked with, and we basically had our own software. So it was from the billing, from building orders to running copy, which is putting your commercials you'll see on the television. Any of that stuff was basically owned and operated. And if we didn't own it, we had contracts with different companies that helped do our back end to get all of that software taken care of.
Okay. And then the software that would not be proprietary, were you working Google or Microsoft?
We did Microsoft on that part. And they were big into WebEx Teams. On that part was most of the things. Anytime we had meetings or we had town halls, anything ran through WebEx only.
Okay. How about Excel? How are your Excel skills?
Pretty good. We did a lot of reports through Excel, and it kind of you kind of had to know it to work with it.
Now I always try and think like, okay, I thought actually my Excel skills were a little bit stronger than they were until I started really learning a lot more about Excel a couple of years ago. So I try and say like, there's like 3 levels. So you've got the data entry, basically that someone's created a spreadsheet for you and you're just entering the data. Then I would say then there's the next step where you can like actually do some different things with the data, maybe like, you know, create like a spreadsheet, nothing intense. And then there's advanced, of course, that includes like VLOOKUPs and pivot tables. So where do you think you would fall?
I probably put intermediate. The pivot
intermediate.
tables, we worked with a little bit, but at the end, we didn't really have to do it because corporate was creating the reports for us that we needed. So I'd probably say middle to
like intermediate level. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. And then how about your typing skills for any type of admin roles?
I'd say pretty proficient, very proficient, because we lived in, data entry all day long.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this portion of the interview. This is just a little clip overview of your experience and talk a little bit about some of the different skill sets that you have. But don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to talk about.